This is going to be Korea versus Taiwan. Where should you teach? So if you're thinking about teaching in Asia, maybe either in Korea or Taiwan, then this is for you. I've taught in both places. I spent 3 years, about 3.5 years in Korea, and I think about 2 years, maybe slightly over 2 years in Taiwan. So first we'll go over the qualifications. Okay, in those places, you usually, for starters, you usually need to be a native English speaker and have a degree, 4-year degree. Now, in Taiwan, to teach in a public school, you also need to be a licensed teacher in your home country. So those are the two basic qualifications you need for starters. Number 2, work schedule. So the work schedule, what's it like? I'd say generally Taiwan is a little bit easier going, a little bit lighter. Korea is more like the place you work. You're probably gonna put in longer hours, working hours and whatnot. And work schedule kind of similar. If you got a daytime job, you're gonna be working like 8 to 4 or something like that in a public school. Or if you're in teaching in a hagwon, you're gonna be doing an evening shift, like 2 to 9, somewhere around there. 3 to 8, something like that. So, and then there's also kindergarten jobs, which could be, in Taiwan, there's actually some pretty good positions where you could work like 2 hours in the morning. This would be considered a full-time job too. And you work like maybe 2 hours in the morning, and then like maybe 3 hours in the afternoon. You get a break for lunch for 2 hours. There's some schools out there. I've had friends that have had positions like that, and those are good if you can get one like that. And early morning would be like teaching really young kids, the kindergarten age, and in the afternoon it's like elementary school. So that's kind of like the work schedules like. So there's variations between schools and whatnot. Money, I'd say Korea's gonna be better for money most of the time, just because there's a lot of benefits. You get severance pay, pension, airline tickets. What else? Severance pay, pension, airline tickets. Get a pretty good salary. So, and free housing. So in Taiwan, pretty much don't get any of those. Really, there's some jobs for. Some jobs might give you a free housing, but this is like such a small percentage of jobs. The only ones that usually do that are the ones that hire from abroad, which brings us to another thing. Very few schools in Taiwan hire from abroad. There's some, but they're usually in like far away places, not like in the bigger cities, or like more rural, or when I say rural, it's probably not rural like you think, because Taiwan's pretty populated, densely populated. So so money, you're gonna make more in Korea. Average 2.1 million won. You can look that up. Probably just under 2,000 a month. Taiwan depends on the school. Like if you teach in a public school, you could make close to 70,000 NT a month. You can look that up. See how much that is. Probably over 60 you'd make in a public school, 65 to 70 or so. Really depends on the school. And if you're teaching like in a bushiban, 50 to 60. But it always depends. And if you really want to make money in Taiwan, the way to do it usually is to stack jobs. Like you get a morning job, you get an evening job or two, and that's how you do it. One school gets your ARC and your visa and whatnot, and then you can make money that way. So startup cash, you're gonna need more money to start up in Taiwan, because you don't get free housing, you don't get any of those benefits, free airfare there, 9 times out of 10. So you're gonna need money to like move into a place, and maybe a scooter, depending on where you are, like public transportation in Taiwan. There's buses, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that good in the cities I lived in Taichung and Tainan, which are the third and the fourth largest city. So, and in Korea, living in the second largest city and then a smaller city. and public transportation there was really good, I thought. Taiwan and Taipei is good. If you get subway, you don't need a scooter in Taipei, you know. In Kaohsiung, they have a MRT. It just started, but last I knew it wasn't very extensive. It was just a few lines. So startup cash, you're going to need more for Taiwan. You get housing, you got maybe a visa run to do or something, and air tickets to get there, stuff like that. Korea, you don't have to bring as much. You can start with like maybe $500 if you got a job set up and everything, and you're going over there. You could probably be fine with $500 in your bank when you get over there. Taiwan, probably. I mean, I remember dudes going over there with, there's a way. If you got a will, there's a way, you know. So I went over there with about 2,000. So it worked out. It took me a while to sort of settle into find a job that would give me a visa and stuff. So let's see, the startups cash, school differences, I kind of touched on a little bit. Yeah, you either got I think I already said that. We're going to skip along here. Job market, I'd say Korea's probably better. Yeah, I'd say Korea's better. I mean, there's more jobs there for teachers than there are in Taiwan. Yeah, I mean, the public school market in Korea is like shrinking a little bit. There's like fewer jobs, but there's still jobs in the public school market, and there's hagwons, and then in Taiwan, yeah, it's okay, but it's not like China or Korea, I'd say. And let's see, environments. I think Taiwan's pretty cool. Taiwan's more exotic than Korea. Korea's nice. It's like kind of pretty. It kind of reminds me a little bit like where I grew up in New England, like New Hampshire. Kind of mountainous. I mean, it's a mountainous place, but they're not like really big. They're not like the Rocky Mountains or something like that. Well, Taiwan, on the other hand, it depends where you go. Like Taiwan's a pretty small island. You can 6 hours go north to south. I've driven around. I've been around all of it, like all the way around the island. I've been around it. I drove around most of it in some of the most beautiful places just on my scooter. So there's mountains up there to like 11,000, 12,000 feet almost in Taiwan, and then Taiwan's south, so it's like it's gonna get hot. Taiwan's pretty hot most of the time. Winters aren't too bad, pretty cool. But yeah, Taiwan. So you got like high mountains that'll get like it's on the Tropic of Cancer, Taiwan. So there's gonna be some mountains there that even get snow certain times of the year. But yeah, it's there's palm trees, betel nut trees, betel nut. I was thinking of the betel nut shisha. I forget how to say that. But another topic. You can look them up. Betel nut beauties. Look them up and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the environment's really nice in Taiwan. Korea, it's nice. It's well, Taiwan, I should say Taiwan. A third of Taiwan, the western part of Taiwan, I don't think it's that nice. It's plains and it's really densely populated. It's got a pollution problem. I think Korea's better about that. I think there's less pollution in Korea. So Korea's just kind of, it's nice. It's not like dramatic. Taiwan's got some dramatic, like some really beautiful places. Korea's got some nice places, but I don't think it's like over the top, like really nice. So pollution I mentioned. International, the vibe. I think Taiwan's a bit more international. It's a little bit more, I'd say, foreign friendly than Korea is. Like food and stuff, yeah, I'd say it's a little bit cheaper. Taiwan's a little bit cheaper as far as food goes than Korea is. I mean, there's places you can go in Korea and get like bibimbap and gimbap and all that for pretty cheap. Taiwan, cheaper. and a little bit more, like you probably won't pay as much for, you can get some different kinds of food besides just Taiwan or Taiwanese food, from food from other countries, and it'll be a little bit cheaper than it probably would be in Korea. And vibe, Taiwan. I think Taiwan's a little more likable than Korea. Korea's just more comfortable. I think that's the bottom line for me. My experience, Korea's more comfortable. It's cleaner. I like that, and it's more comfortable. So, anyways, that's just a little bit there on China versus Korea. Where should you teach? If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.